So here's a treat. We're going to be using this Chevy to tow the dump trailer, and this is going to be cool because haven't really towed with a newer Chevy. The last time I had one of these was like a 6-liter. I don't know what engine's in this, but well, I don't know. I guess we could pop the hood and take a look. So looking under the hood of the Chevy, it's so interesting because it's so much smaller. I mean, yeah, the new 7.3 and everything is what they call like a push or a small block. I don't know if you really can call the 7.3 a small block. It is not this little. This motor's tiny compared to what's in a Ford. Physical footprint is not very large. It does say Vortec. I don't know which one, if it's a 6.2 or if it's a 6.0. But it's smooth. It sounds good. It runs good. Very interesting. We got some cracked exhaust manifolds. No, I don't know if they're cracked or if they're designed to look that way. Actually, they're not cracked. They're just designed to look that way. But yeah, when you look under here, you can clearly see freaking everything. This is much easier to service, even compared to the 7.3. This thing is going to be superior when it comes to serviceability. You could pull this motor out of here without even taking much off. You probably could get it out with the radiator in the truck. Not going to be the case with the 7.3. Still a big motor. 7.3. All right, about to jump in this Chevy and see what all this hype is about. Here's all my trailers, and then I'm jumping in my buddy's Chevy. Let's see what's up. All right, so definitely feels a little bit different. Feels like the seat is like it's wrapping around you. You sit a lot lower. The seating is most certainly different. The view of the road, in my opinion, getting this truck a little bit less visibility. Comfort wise though, it's nice. It feels like you're tucked down in the cockpit. But yeah, let me go ahead and get this thing on the road, and I'll see you guys once we get rolling. Honestly, driving the Chevy, the power is pretty decent. I like how it sounds. It accelerates fine. Not a ton of fan clutch like I got on my 6.2. I might have to really look into the 6.2 and see why it's got to howl so much with the fan, because that does kind of take away from it a little. It doesn't do it when it's really cold outside, but it's the one truck that I have that's just constantly running. You can just hear just a ton of air under the engine, under the hood, like blowing the engine, which is probably good for cooling, but not great for power. It sucks up a lot of power. When it's real cold out, the 6.2 does not have all that fan clutch activity, but just being 40 degrees, it's kind of ridiculous how it sounds. But no, this thing is pretty cool. This thing's got like 76K on it. You can see the wear and stuff on the steering wheel. It's worn in, but still nice. I mean, basically the truck wears nice. It wears out nice. It doesn't tear apart, because this truck has been worked. Power wise, like I said, good. No real issues. Comfortable, very comfortable truck. I think I could plow in this thing. I could sit in here for 30 hours if I needed to. No issues. Overall, so far, pretty impressed with the truck, with the Chevy. All right, I'm not one to complain, but this guy has this little Chevy Cruze in the biggest bay at the car wash. So he can wash his Cruze. So yeah, pretty impressed. We actually dropped the trailer, and I am going to be kind of curious how this thing drives without the trailer. I like how it sounds. Not quite as aggressive as the 7.3, but I'm going to say it's hard to say if any one is better than the other. I'm not going to say better than the 6.2, anything like that. It's different. It's most certainly different. You would think, just because this thing is so tiny, the motor is so physically small, that it wouldn't be as good. But towing wise, just the little bit that I did seemed pretty much on par with the 7.3. I would have to load the trailer up really to see if there's any difference, but I will say the leaf springs on this thing better than the Ford in the rear. Less squat. The spring pack looks like it has more springs in it. I got to take a look at it once we park, but I didn't see overload springs. But the Ford just really sits down when you load it, when you hook up a trailer, when you're towing a dump trailer, all that. It's a 350, but it freaking acts like a 250 as far as squat. Power and all that stuff, max it out, not an issue. But towing, the 350 is stable. It's more stable than the 250. It does have that rear sway bar. It does have the overload spring, so it sits on those when it gets low. It is much more stable, but the amount of squat that it has, it really bugs people. The headlights are pointed up. I'm getting flashed all the time, so I'm going to be doing airbags on that truck to really bring it, back to where it should be. But this is a cool little truck, the Chevys. I got no problem with the Chevys. But anyway, let me get to the shop, and I'll see you guys once we get there. All right, so we got all three trucks out here right now. We got the F-350. We got, yeah.
Oh, we're going live?
Yeah. What up?
What up? Sean's fucking Stokes Outdoors in this bitch.
Say what?
Stokes Outdoors. The neighbor's mad at you because he wanted that building.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he's like, how the fuck did he get it? I said, he's an equal opportunity employer because he's black.
Oh, shit. So we got all three trucks lined up. I think the Chevy's got a stronger rear spring. What do you think, Mike? You think the Chevys are stronger rear spring or what?
All the way around.
I think so. I mean, let's take a look at what we got. Ours are a little thicker, but we have fewer. This is the F-250. So you got 3 springs, no overload. On the Chevy, I don't know what the deal is. I feel like it's squatted less. I think I see 4 thinner springs. This is a 2500. 4 thinner springs, and then a 5th one that doesn't touch yet. So I'm guessing that's more of like an overload spring. But I'm telling you, it seemed like it squatted less. Now here on the 350, what do we have? We've got 3 springs. They're a little thicker than the Chevy, and one that doesn't quite touch yet. And then you got the overload spring there, which by the time your overload spring touches, this thing's squatting so bad that it's like, man, why doesn't it touch sooner? And over here, I don't know. The comfort was good on the Chevy. It didn't feel stiff or nothing, and it didn't squat as much. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say Chevy's running a better rear spring pack. But anyway, see you guys at the next scene. I want to show you guys this. Check it out. We have a shop, and this is all the equipment in here. It is 2,400 square feet. It's got a 400 square foot office, 2 bathrooms. When you look over here, you can see that I got the office right here. It needs some work for sure, but I just got some tools and stuff in here right now. On this side of the shop, I'm subleasing out this half to a friend. He's parking his landscape and stuff over here on this side. And then my stuff's going to be over here on this side. We both get basically 1,000 square feet of floor space. And I'm going to be taking the office. Pretty sweet little spot. Up there we got a hot water tank, 2 furnaces, one for the office, one for the shop. One's going to be real big, just blows all the warm air out, and the other one's going to have actual duct work. Pretty sweet setup, real high ceilings. Right now I'm taking up a ton of space with my trailers, but in time they will be going outside. I will be moving this trailer right now. But yeah, pretty sweet spot. So I'm still working on how I'm going to organize everything. But I got to move this trailer because it's already getting full. These are my snow blowers right here. And there's my plow. So I got to get this thing out of the way so that I can be able to hook up to this plow quickly. Now, I still have the 2 parking spots at the trucking facility, and I do have those for the month. I don't know how much longer I'm going to keep them, but I may hold on to them for a little while and yeah, so pretty sweet. I do want to start taking on some jobs now that I have this space. I don't have to work out in the cold. As far as DS trucks, definitely want to take on some different type of wiring and different things that we do. But anyway, let me get this thing hooked up and moved out of the way. See you guys at the next scene. Alright, so I'm wrapping up this video, but the first job that I'm doing here is some OEM mud flaps on my 22 350, and it's kind of weird. I accidentally got the wrong ones. These are the ones for the fender flare that you can see there's an extra gap right here, and it's missing something to isolate this metal clip from the aluminum body because you don't want dissimilar metals. So what I did is I put a little bit of tape. Hey, you can't hear my podcast, can you? Is that there? Yeah. All right. So what I did is I put a little bit of tape between this metal and the steel, so the aluminum and the steel are not touching. And yeah, hopefully that works out. Also, I put a little bit of shrink tubing on this metal clip in conjunction with the tape because you don't want the metal spikes to grab the aluminum. Hopefully this works. I don't know, we'll find out. But if it doesn't work, it's gonna probably destroy the paint on the aluminum. But what ended up happening is this light that is on the running board is no longer functioning correctly because I didn't put the mud flap on this side and it was getting blasted with salt and rocks and everything. Over on the other side, it did have the mud flap and it was not affected quite as bad on this side. So now the lights don't flash like they're supposed to. So I'll probably have to take it all apart and reprogram it. But upfitter switch. So yeah, the pattern changed. I've been running these all day long, and I'm thinking that because I'm just running them, it's drying it out. I think moisture just got to it from so much pressure and moisture just being blasted on it by the wheel. Because earlier today, this thing was flashing erratically. Now the pattern's just off. It's like the pattern came off from how it was programmed. But nonetheless, it's still working. I don't know if this light's going to be savable, but we'll see. It's kind of acting weird now that it's been exposed to the hellish environment of no mud flap and just being how it is. So being that I got the wrong ones on the mud flaps, it's kind of nice actually because they stick out like an inch further. So maybe that would be a different type of way to do this. If you got a little bit bigger tires and you still want OEM, maybe the move is to get the ones with the flares, even if you don't have the flares. But anyway, that's going to be it for today's video. If you guys need anything done to your truck, reach out to me and we will get you in here. Anything from Built Right, anything from Limitless, strobing your headlights, whatever it may be that you want. In my truck, I got the back rack from Built Right on the back seat. I got the Built Right on the dash. And yeah, you can see that's there mounted. But anything you need, let me know. But anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video. This is Sean. This is DS Trucks. Thanks for tuning in. We finally got a shop. See you in the next one. Over and out.